Saltburn offers plenty of room for interpretation, and some theories can totally change how one sees the movie. It's a psychological thriller following an Oxford University student, Oliver, who befriends a wealthy classmate named Felix. When Felix learns of Oliver's difficult living situation, he invites him to spend the summer at the magnificent Saltburn estate, ensuing months of fatal drama and complicated romance. Any film with such depth is ripe for theory and interpretation, and some ideas about Saltburn are genuinely mind-blowing, exploring between the lines to find hidden meanings. Let's explore some wild theories on this thriller. 6. The Saltburn estate demands blood sacrifices, a theory that suggests a supernatural element to the film. The setting of Saltburn is a massive aspect of Emerald Fennell's film, distinguishing it specifically with Gothic elements, adding a layer of old-world mysticism. A dark Saltburn theory suggests that the castle itself is responsible for the deaths, akin to the hotel from The Shining, which summons specific individuals to the premises to do its dark bidding. Of course, this theory adds a supernatural element to Saltburn, which could detract from the human psychosexual nature of the film. Still, it's not far off to suggest that the allure of the Gothic estate could drive a character toward evil deeds. Oliver draws the blood of the Catton family in Saltburn and becomes the castle's new heir. The theory is enforced by many of the most twisted moments in Saltburn, which show Oliver as a man possessed, doing bizarre and unsettling things to the family. The most significant flaw in the blood sacrifice theory is that Oliver seemed to develop his sinister plan long before he arrived at the estate. 5. Elspeth died from COVID. Poison from Oliver is the lead suspect in Elspeth's death, but subtle hints point to COVID. Rosamund Pike's Elspeth is the final survivor of the Catton family, years after the majority of the film's events. Now widowed, she's seen running into Oliver years after his banishment from Saltburn, and the two seemingly marry, resulting in Oliver becoming the estate's heir. Most of the film takes place in the late 2000s, but the epilogue scene is years later and shows various characters wearing masks. While many assumed Oliver had something to do with poisoning Elspeth, it's possible that her being out of touch with reality led her to contract COVID-19 and ultimately perish from not taking it seriously, adding some social commentary to the film. 4. Oliver originally loved Felix. Saltburn ponders whether Oliver loved Felix, creating a duality between his love for the man and the desire for his wealth. The idea that Oliver loved Felix and changed his plan upon realizing he was just a toy is fascinating, adding questions of reliability to his narration. While the ending seems to suggest Oliver did it all for the money, it should be considered that he's notably a liar. Oliver may be convincing himself that he orchestrated events from the beginning, referring to himself as a predator, to cover up his heartbreak over Felix. This establishes Saltburn as a transgressive love story rather than an eat-the-rich narrative. 3. Oliver completes everyone's base needs. Oliver's manipulation tactics fulfill the Catton family's every need. Upon arriving at the Saltburn estate, the four characters Oliver mingles with the most are Felix, Farley, Venetia, and Elspeth, and a theory suggests that he completes a base need for each of them. For Felix, Oliver presents the idea of someone he can care for, fulfilling his savior complex. Farley is the lowest on the totem pole at the estate, and Oliver gives him someone he can pick on. Venetia suffers from an eating disorder, and the blood scene demonstrates Oliver providing her with complete bodily acceptance. Elspeth is essentially seeking a yes man, which Oliver quickly becomes for her. These angles suggest Oliver's detailed manipulation tactics. 2. Felix's death is a mythology reference. There are several Greek mythology references and comparisons to be made in Saltburn, centered around the Minotaur statue at the center of the labyrinth. While Oliver has commonly been compared to Theseus or the Minotaur, another theory suggests a comparison between Felix and the mythological character Icarus. While he has his issues, Jacob Elordi's Felix seems to have decent intentions. When he dies, he's notably wearing wings, implying that he flew too close to the sun. In Saltburn, the sun's light could represent the estate itself or Felix's hope for other people. 1. Pamela Was Murdered. Carrie Mulligan is introduced in Saltburn as a character named Pamela, a friend of the family who's staying at the estate while hiding from a Russian billionaire. At some point in the film, Pamela leaves, and it's later declared that she died by suicide. The implication is that she was actually murdered, as it's mentioned the billionaire's business associates were being killed in staged suicides. The vital implication of Pamela's murder is that the Catton family feels nothing for her, and this demonstrates to Oliver how little the family cares for their guests, enabling him to follow through with his violent plan.